some groovy music. It's like, kind of groovy. It's not really techno-y, but I mean, it's there she is, Morgan Kolenda. She can you hear me? First off, thumbs up. Yes. I don't hear you. Oh, you know why I muted you. That's me. I muted you because you were in the waiting room and I was doing anyway, yes, I got you. I hear you now. I hear you giggling. There she is, Morgan Kolenda. Gosh, and I was thinking about this today in my little morning walk that, I started coming to Kansas City as a visitor in 13, 14-ish, somewhere in there, and you were still there. I mean, you were like a fixture, and you've done this a while, and I can think of no better person who's doing this. I mean, you're the promotions guru. I mean, you wear a lot of hats, digital manager, all the things you're doing, sales, but promo is the thing I think that gets you most fired up, doesn't it? I guess you're pretty fired up.
Yes, I love the promotion aspect of it because it all kind of ties together.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, and I was saying a moment ago in the break, I'm turning the mic down just a tad here. The schedule comes out October, November. We're fired up. Yeah, okay, now we're the holidays. We lock down a little bit in our holiday mode. Then the weather kind of gets cold, but it's off in the distance. Royals start going to surprise. Boom, here comes the promo schedule. Then we kind of know. Then we know now that it's for sure it's coming. So tell us first off how much planning went into this schedule. It looks like a lot because you guys really, I think, shuffled it. And again, I'm not a promo guy. That's what you guys do, but it looks like you guys did a phenomenal job. Put a lot of time into this.
Yeah, so we actually, we've been working on the promo schedule all off season. It starts the second that the off season begins, and once the schedule for the season came out, that's when we really honed down on it because that's how we can start programming things and putting things in specific spots. And really this year, we don't have a whole lot of weekend games, so we're really putting a lot of our effort into the weekends in particular. And all of our weekends have like a theme that's associated to them. So, like opening weekend is all about celebrating the championship, and then we're going to lead it into, the Boots and Dukes night because of the fact that, that's race weekend as well. Right. So across the street's going to be busy. And so that kind of crowd, we were trying to channel how can we connect that crowd to baseball. And, that's where we came up with that country theme. And then Sundays this year, we're trying to take a different approach to them and make it more of a family atmosphere. But we're also going to be doing, catch on the field before the game instead of after the game because gates will open 2 hours prior. And so we're really wanting to do that pregame catch on the field every Sunday for about 45 minutes to kind of add into the excitement of it, to get kids to come out before. And that way they don't have to stay the entire Sunday game because sometimes it can be a little long. We know that baseball it's kind of a lot sometimes. It can either be a quick game or it can be about 4.5 hours. So we wanted to make sure that the kiddos get there early. They can play catch on the field, hopefully see a player or two, play catch with them, and then they can stay and enjoy the game. So we're really focusing a lot on the weekends this year.
Yeah, the weekends what jumped out at me again. I'm no promotion expert, but just looking at obviously what you guys have done, and I don't know how much folks have really seen this, but when I went back through it in my broadcasting mind, I realized you've kind of given each weekend sort of a title. I mean, You've gone, you change. It's not just, okay, Friday night, we're doing this, Saturday, but this is the weekend, Mayhem or whatever it is. And under Mayhem weekend, we've got these items going on. You really have shown that. Talk about that philosophy. It's really making it almost a weekend long event.
Yeah. So I'll just talk about, Good for the Soul weekend, just because that kind of ties everything together. And that's Memorial Day weekend. There's different segments to each weekend that we've designed, and we've done that. So like, let's say, Good for the Soul weekend, we can have the ballpark decorated throughout the entire weekend, but each day. So, we're doing the Blues Brothers on Friday. And so it'll be more of a blues type music. And then, Saturday we're doing jazz. And so it'll be kind of jazzy. And then, Saturday we're doing the funk 70s theme. And then Sunday is jazz. So all of those 3 types of genres of music tie into Soul Weekend. And so that's why we called it, it's good for the soul, because baseball is good for the soul. And so we want to kind of try and put everything together. Now we looked at, obviously, we're not in town on the 4th of July, but we are in town the 3 days prior. And so we really wanted to go out with a bang, pun intended. And we wanted to make it, an American themed weekend. And so we were like, how can we tie that together? And so we're doing like red, white, and booze on Friday, where we're going to have, food and drink specials. And then Saturday, we've got those fireworks, and we're doing our salute to service that night, because what better time to, bring that and to bring our military out than, 4th of July weekend. And then Sunday, we're ending it with America's like giant birthday bash.
Morgan Kolenda is the voice. I'm Dan Vaughan. The show is Rain Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs, our Thursday edition, our last edition of March. I mean, that's crazy. We're going to be looking at these weekends shortly. I mean, we're a month out from really getting locked down. I love the whole weekend thing, but you also brought back some familiar favorites that folks have kind of come to know and love. You can't have Monarchs baseball or baseball out at Legends area without some skydivers.
Right.
I mean, that's one. I mean, you had to have skydivers.
Right. We have the skydivers. Falcon has been a part of us since before we were the Monarchs. We have a great partnership with them. And we think it's, I think fans really enjoy having them. Every Friday I'll look around and just kind of see the feedback from the fans, and they're all looking up and they take pictures and they clap. And so, it's just kind of a fun little incentive. And plus the players, they'll literally stop what they're doing and just look up. And so it's cool. It adds to the theme, and like they're always willing to go according to what we're asking them to do. So like on 4th of July weekend, they'll bring out their blue and their red smoke, and then the American flags. And so they're really great to work with. Fireworks, obviously, after the games on Saturdays, they'll be in left field just like they were last year. Always a big hit. We're doing fireworks on opening night, so that'll definitely hopefully add to the theme as well. And then, Sunday, like I said, we did post-game catch on the field after the game for a long time. And we sat down and we thought about it. And I was just like, why don't we do it before the game? And that way kids sometimes get a little tired and they want to go home. And so they can just come out to the game early and they can play catch, and then they can stick for the game and leave whenever they want.
Yeah, I love that. And you talk about the fireworks and the skydivers, because usually the skydivers with your script usually come at about the same time we go on the air on the radio side. So I'm usually doing my little radio button nerd things, and all of a sudden, as I'm doing that, I look and all of a sudden I see them come out of my peripheral, and I'm scrambling for my camera, so I make sure I get my shots in, because because there's nothing better than looking back in the fall or kicking around and going through you go through your phone. Oh, that's awesome. Great picture, because you just don't see skydivers just anywhere. I mean, you're not just kicking in your backyard and here comes a sky. You kind of, it's one of those stop down things. So I know that people are looking for their camera because I'm doing it. Yeah, I mean,
I'm even doing it too.
I know you're doing it. I know you're doing it. I've got years and years of skydiving. Buck O'Neil is going to the Hall of Fame this summer. And I was asked this question yesterday on a podcast in the Metroplex with Kenny Matthews and Billy Martin Jr. We were talking a little bit about Buck O'Neil, and also the Jackie Robinson, the 75 years. Now, granted, we're not playing on that date, but do we have anything just sort of, I mean, I know it's a lot, there's a lot in that question, but what are we thinking about just down the road? Are we going to be doing some things with that?
Yeah, we are. Obviously, we're still brainstorming, and we're in talks with the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum on how to do it appropriately and, in good fashion. We are planning to do something for Jackie Robinson Day. We just haven't fully decided what. It's a huge day, obviously, in the baseball world, as everyone knows. But, with Buck O'Neil being inducted into the Hall of Fame, it's awesome. We were so happy to hear about it. And we're working closely with the Negro Leagues to do a Buck O'Neil Day, and we're actually going to do that on May 22nd in honor of, obviously, number 22, Buck O'Neil, and we're kind of calling that Buck Day. And we've got John Bucati. He is going to be doing some artwork for us on opening night, and it'll be an artistic painting of Buck, and we're hopefully going to be giving that away on Buck O'Neill Day, that painting. And it's kind of the year of Buck is what I'm calling 2022, because it really is. It's the year of Buck O'Neill, and we're really trying to just do everything in good taste, good fashion, and hopefully, with the Monarchs community, they'll be fully supportive of that.
Morgan Kolenda with us from the Monarchs. Dan Vaughan with you from the Monarchs as we're talking Monarchs here on Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. All right. Now, last year, one that's coming back, and I think a lot of folks, at least my wife and I, are in agreement here that we enjoyed the Cartolina wine mixer was a big one, right?
Right.
And I will admit this, I've already been looking for possible wardrobes for that day and that night, because that's a big wardrobe day as well. Catalina wine mixer, I hope it's back, or am I shopping for something that's not going to happen?
No, we are actually doing Catalina wine mixer nights. It's kind of like yacht rock, you know what I mean? We are doing it. We're bringing it back. I can't confirm Rob Riggle just yet. There is talks about bringing him back this year, but it's not 100% confirmed. However, if he's not able to come, he is with us in spirit, and that's what matters. But it's a freaking Catalina wine mixer, so it's super exciting.
Yeah.
We're encouraging fans to, dress in their yacht best, and I'm excited because last year I got to do it, but I didn't get to enjoy all of the promotions like I usually could have.
Yes,
pregnant, so I'm not pregnant anymore, so I get to enjoy them, and I actually get to kind of dress according to the theme, so it'll be exciting.
Yes, I know that's got to be exciting for you. I know. Well, Rob, if you're watching, get your butt there. Now, this is off topic.
I think that following week.
Well, this is a little bit off topic, but the other night, my wife and I were watching a show called Hacks, which is on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go into the details of the show, but I'm looking, and I look at my wife, and I said, "Do you recognize that gentleman that's in the show?" And she kind of looked at me and she says, "Well, kind of," because he played Jerry Jones on Ballers. I said, no, think more. And she's still thinking. I'm scrolling through my phone, and I go back to a few years ago when we had Christopher, was it McDonald? Is that who it was?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I loved him.
Yeah, yes. As Shooter McGavin, and he's now on the show. My wife's like, "Oh yeah, he was there." So, and I tell you that because it was a heck of a night. Because if you remember that story, Shooter shows up in my broadcast booth about the 9th inning, and Shooter had some shots, let's just say. But that was a good time. But I just throw that story out there because that was a heck of a find for you a few years ago. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh. I was just talking to Nick about the past people that we've had, and I loved it. And he had asked, I just remember he asked me when I picked him up from the airport, because all of our guests throw out a first pitch.
Sure.
And we were kind of going back and forth. And that was the coolest thing, was I got to drive him to the airport. And so I got one-on-one time with him, and I was with him. He's so great. And he goes, "How can I make it like a memorable thing?" And I said, "I don't know." I was like, "Maybe you could putt the baseball in." And he goes, I love it. So I went home and I got a golf club, and he put the baseball in for his first pitch. And it was incredible. And then we brought him into the clubhouse, and the guys were just, oh my God, it was just like it was like seeing Santa Claus. It was the greatest thing.
That was a great time.
Great. I mean, Shooter McGavin, man.
Yeah, it was funny because my wife and I are sitting on the couch watching the show, and she's trying to think of I'm thinking, no, think baseball, think Kansas City, and then she realized, oh yeah, because that was our first year in Kansas City, so this was way back. But Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs, Dan Vaughan and Morgan Kolenda talking promotions here on the show. All right, I envision, and I've been to these meetings, but not these meetings. I've been to the meetings with you guys, so I know what goes on. But I envision these meetings are pretty crazy. How many hours do you think that you guys have spent? And I know you're still doing it to put this together. I mean, you guys, this is an ongoing process. Walk us through how does a promotion get born with you guys, with us?
Well, and we kind of just we take, feathers out of other people's hats. We see what, other minor league teams are doing. We see what could tie in well. Obviously, the Monarchs name is a very, very historic name, and there's a lot to it besides just fun things. So we want to
Right.
also use it as an educational piece. And so we want to tie in parts of Kansas City that people either have forgotten about or don't know much about. And so, like, Good for the Soul, we're working with the American Jazz Museum, and, Buck O'Neill Day, we're working with the Negro Leagues. And there's just certain components that we're really taken into consideration in the brainstorming. And to be honest, we're still brainstorming. The schedule that we released, that's just the preliminary schedule. I mean, people are like, where's Bark in the Park? And where's Superheroes? And Winky Face, just stay tuned, because if it's not on there, it doesn't mean it won't show up eventually. So we're still brainstorming, and we it's never a set in stone schedule. It's always subject to change, and we want to make it the best promotional schedule that we can. We try to top ourselves every year.
All right, two more things, Larry. I'll let you go. So I know you're up against the clock here. Item number one. First off, you and I both are holdovers. We were there with the old T-Bone. So and I've had a couple conversations in the last few weeks about this on a couple of shows. You are now a year plus into this Monarchs thing. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or maybe just tell me what you're seeing out there. What are you seeing that's different from, a couple of years ago?
I see our brand out there a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously the Monarchs brand, everyone knows about it. But I see a lot of people wearing our merch. And, I passed a lady in the store the other day that had one of our hoodies on, and we actually had the same hoodie on. So that was a good conversation. But I think, from the educational standpoint, I think it's huge. And I think people are learning not just about, oh my gosh, we're a minor league baseball team, but we're educating them on, we are minor league, but we are a professional league. We're not semi-pro.
Right.
These guys aren't just some guys we picked up off the street,
Right.
That's a big thing to get out there. And I think people are starting to realize, like, no, like, this team's good. Like, they're really freaking good. And, we send guys to the majors, and that's the whole point of why we do what we do. But I just think that's kind of cool that's not saying, with the T-Bones, it was fantastic. I mean, I loved it. I wouldn't have stuck around if I didn't. But you didn't see many people wearing the T-Bone stuff. You saw the season ticket holders and the host families, but you just see random people wearing Monarch stuff. I mean, it's all over the city. And so I think that's kind of the big difference, but also the fact that, educating people on the name is a big deal too.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. You're right on the target. And actually, you sort of wrote my 2 good minutes for me right there, because I've already written it, but you basically that's basically what I was talking about. Final thing, you mentioned motherhood. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, is Bo in junior high yet, or what's the story? I mean, is he already?
Yeah, I just sent off his high school graduation advice.
He is growing. I'm telling you, your pictures are great. How's he doing? How's motherhood for you guys?
He's such just the greatest thing ever. It is the coolest thing to be able to, one, have a boy, and two, I'm so excited about this season because I get to bring him out here, and he gets to grow up around a sport that I hold so dear to my heart, that my husband holds dear to his heart. And I think, he's 7 months going on 17 years old, and he's huge. He's like 20 pounds, and he's just, it has just been so fun to be able to spend time with him in the off season and really have that one. And I couldn't have had him at a better time, because I've had the whole off season with him. But I'm so excited to bring him out to the ballpark, because by then he'll be walking, and he just started crawling. So we've baby proofed everything. And it's cool to see, your own kid just grow. And I didn't realize how cool of an experience it would be until I had him. So
yeah, one day you'll get a knock on the door, and there'll be a graduation cap and all that wrapped up.
Great.
That's what happened yesterday. I mean, Caroline's college graduation cap and gown come to the house yesterday, and I text her, and she's going to graduate, and I'm like, oh, Oh, anyway, but anything as we wrap things up here on the segment with Morgan, anything you want to plug? First off, where can folks find any details? I know obviously on social, and
Yeah.
you're all over that, but plug away, plug away.
Yeah, if people aren't on social media, which some people aren't, and that's totally fine, all of our promotions are listed on our website, monarchsbaseball.com/promotions. You can always call the box office. We're here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and or if you're on Facebook but not on anything else, just send us a direct message, and I will be the one that would answer most likely. But we're always here for anyone that has questions. Our number and our website are on literally everything that's pushed out. And we're very eager to help you. Our customer service is very important to us. So just give us a call. We are booking groups now. And I will tell you to get group outings in now because single game tickets are on sale. So like people can buy random seats. And that might affect, where you're wanting to sit. So if you have a group, give us a call. Nick is anxiously waiting to help you out. Our business development people are helping. And if you have any other questions regarding promotions, you know who to talk to.
That's right. Call 913-328-5618. Monarchsbaseball.com. Before I let you go too, because I have one more. I kind of wrote this down earlier and I forgot to. But you have impressed me over the years because several times folks who just said, "Well, I can't sing the national anthem," and we have no singer, and you just walk up there as if, American Idol Schmeidel, I can do this. You just walk up, grab the mic, and sing. How many times have you actually sang the Star Spangled Banner over the years? Because you've done it more than once, and you do a hell of a job.
At this field, I've probably sang it, I don't know, probably 30 times.
Oh, that's awesome.
I would rather have a live performance than a recorded one because I think when you come to a ball game,
I agree.
You want a live performance, and so I'm like, okay, and it's always last minute. So if someone's like, "Hey, I can't make it," or "I'm stuck in traffic," okay, well, I guess I'll do it. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it.
You just walk out there and just like,
Yeah, I've been singing the anthem for a very long time, probably since I was like 7 or 8. And when I was little, I would get nervous because I'd sing at like high school basketball games.
Right.
But now it's just kind of,
And you do. It's awesome.
Singing at random, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like saying the ABCs now. I don't get
nervous. Awesome. It's awesome. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, and I've got an idea for a segment. I'll have to message you, but I want to on our broadcast this summer. We got to do the Morgan's promo corner or something once a week or something. So we'll get you on the broadcast. That'll be a Jackson assignment because he'll be doing those little things. So Jackson will track you down and do little segments with you. Or you just stop by the booth. I don't care. Do whatever you got.
Perfect.
Bring you both stop by the booth. Bring the husband.
Will, yeah,
you guys all stop by. You guys all stop by. Hey,
family
I appreciate
outing.
you. Yeah, family outings. My wife will be sitting there. We'll just hang out together with 2 families. Hey, I appreciate you as always, Morgan, and I appreciate your hard work and always being a champion for our brand and for all of us. And looking forward to promos this year. Looking forward to it.